Businesses of all types can qualify, including those who took PPP, nonprofits, even those that had increases in sales. To find out if your business qualifies, it's very simple. You just go to getrefunds.com. You click on Qualify Me and answer a few questions. That's it. That's it. Get your money back. This payroll tax refund is only available for a very limited amount of time. Don't miss out, folks. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com. I touched on this, but couldn't get to it yesterday. Daily Wire. Christians and while I'm talking about the Daily Wire, I see my buddy Ben Shapiro's coming under attack on social media. In some cases by conservatives. And I'm trying to remember who it is. Anyway, they're mad at Ben and the Daily Wire because they insist that he fire a friend of Kanye West. Who does that show there, Mr. Producer? Do you remember? You listening? On the Daily Wire. We've had her on our program from time to time, too. Her name just escapes me. Who's friends with Kanye West? What's that? Yes, Candace Owens. I'm sorry, everybody. Because she has, in many ways, comes to the defense of Kanye West. At least what she says can be interpreted that way. And she works with the Daily Wire, so people are demanding that the Daily Wire suspend, reprimand, or fire her. Now, I have to explain something here. I've condemned Kanye West, too. I've condemned Kanye West. What he said is grotesque.
Hey, Dave, are you there?
And when the unedited parts came out, they were even more grotesque. And then when he responded to it, it was grotesque again. His comments are nothing short of Jew-hating comments. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked to you about this. Conservatives can't just grab on to people who are famous or people who we think will undergird our belief systems because we're very excited. There's somebody in the culture who agrees with us, but he doesn't agree with us because conservatives and constitutionalists are not anti-Semite. We believe in the individual. We are not as the left tries to portray us. I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but there's something wrong with this guy. Now, people are saying that the Daily Wire should fire or somehow punish Candace Owens. Let me put it to you this way. I hear stuff all the time. I'm sure some of you do who are Italian or Irish or German or whatever, black, Spanish. I hear stuff all the time. What are we supposed to do, fire everybody? Obviously, some people say things that are worse than others. Much worse than others. And I reject her defense of Kanye West. Completely and utterly. But she did not say those things. He did. He did. And in the past, it's not that Candace Owens and our buddies, social buddies, I don't know her that well, I've not found her in any respect to be an anti-Semite. I just have not. Even though I strongly disagree with her.
We're ready. We're ready. Go ahead.
All right, we'll get you going there. Work for these companies.
Benjamin Roberts, son of Vanessa James and Barry Roberts. Nicholas Schlinwine, son of Jim and Ginny Schlinwine. Mackenzie Schumer, daughter of Tyson and Keisha Schumer. Brock Siff, son of Carl and Dawn Siff. Next is for our color guard. First color guard member, Kelsey Allen, daughter of Bill and Tiffany Allen. Jesselyn Ballard, daughter of Roy and Stephanie Ballard. Madison Boomer, escorted by Bill and Tiffany Allen. Lily Garcia, daughter of Chris Reynolds and Emilio Garcia. Amaya Grider, daughter of Nikki and CJ Grider. Hannah Lavender, daughter of Matt and Heather Lavender. Ayla Watts, daughter of Jason and Ann Watts. Next for our golf seniors, first off is Spencer Brown, son of Russ and Leah Brown. Next is Jackson Burke, son of Michael and Lori Burke. Hudson Chapman, son of Keith and Beth Chapman.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Carterville High School. I'm Dave McKenzie. Scott Hudson is alongside. It's senior night for Carterville. Scott Hudson, and this is always a big night for those guys that have put in the blood, sweat, and the tears over the course of the last 4 years.
Yeah, and when you get into high school as a freshman, you think you're never going to become a senior. It seems like it's going to take forever, but I can tell you, and you know this as well, that when you have somebody that is in high school, those 4 years go by very quickly. And for these seniors tonight, this is their chance to be honored for all the hard work they've put into whatever they've chosen to do as far as athletics. And that's not just the football players; it's the other athletes, cheerleaders as well, who have put in the time, and they're being honored for it here tonight.
You know, and it's as a parent of a senior. You mentioned when we were down on the field earlier that there's 2 games as a player you don't want to lose: homecoming and your senior night. But I got to tell you what, senior night is probably more difficult on the parents than it is on the player.
Well, I can tell you from experience it is. I had to come down out of the broadcast booth in 2009 at Heron and walk with my son, Kyle, and my wife. And that's a very emotional moment, because it finally hits you that, wow, this is it. There's going to be a few more games left, and that's it for football as far as their career. So it is tougher on parents than it is the kids.
Carterville is hosting Pinckneyville tonight here in River to River Mississippi Division Conference action. And I tell you what, Scott Hudson, if the Lions can come away with a win tonight, they are going to be conference champions for 2022.
Outright conference champions. And I think coming into the season, that's what Carterville, the coaching staff, the players, that's what everybody wanted. They didn't want to just share it. They wanted to be outright champions. And a win here tonight over a Pinckneyville team that, again, has struggled, although they almost pulled the upsets of all upsets last week when they came within literally 24 seconds of beating Nashville at Pinckneyville. They just couldn't finish the deal. But this is a chance for Carterville to go to 8-0, go to Harrisburg next week, which will have playoff implications for both teams no matter what happens tonight. So that won't be an easy task at Saline County next week, but I still feel like this Carterville team's headed for 9-0 and a #1 seed in the upcoming playoffs.
That's Scott Hudson. I'm Dave McKenzie. This is your UPS Store pregame show as the parents of the seniors are being introduced here with each of the students. And as you look across, Scott, that's a lot of kids that are lined up with their parents out there, but very awesome to see. And we just want to say congratulations to the parents on raising good kids. These are a good group of kids throughout the entire program, and just very, very proud of them, and the parents should be very, very proud as well. We're going to go on and take our first break. We had a chance on yesterday afternoon to talk with the head coach of the Carterville Lions, Coach Brett Dial, about the senior night game. and what he is expecting. You're going to hear from Coach Dow coming up next. This is the UPS Store pregame show on News Radio WJPF.
SIU.
Blake Berkey, son of Ryan and Marcy Berkey. Next we have Jordan Cordes, son of Jalen and Rick Phillips and Ben Cordes. Next we have Nolan Hartford, son of Jeff and Stephanie Hartford. Next up we have Andrew Hellriegel, son of William and Juliana Hellriegel. Charlie Howerton, son of Kevin and Bonnie Howerton. Dave Lustenberger, son of Dave and Kelly Lustenberger. Elijah Mooring, son of John and Amanda Mooring, and Mike and Angie Wren. Hayden Morris, son of Angela Morris and James Schoonover. Eli Morse, son of Daryl and Megan Morse. Brock Chastain, son of Mark and Sandra Chastain. Bryce Smith, son of Crystal Scholda and David Smith. Jaden Smith, son of Corrine and Jeremy Smith. Xander Smith, son of Christopher and Melissa Smith. And last but certainly not least, Talon
Coach
Walker,
Brett Dial
son
joins
of
us on
Clint
our
and
pregame
Megan
show.
Walker.
Coach, it's week number 8, and it's senior night here tonight.
Yeah, we've got a great group of seniors here, a large group, 16 that have stuck together through all 4 years. And what we're seeing here, and actually with this week of practice, is our practice times were cut down a little bit this late in the season. We've got a very veteran group. They know what's going on. We don't have to sit there and spend a lot of time explaining things and pick up on stuff. So it's a special group. They're very football savvy. They're just had a lot of success on the field, off the field as well, and hopefully we can send them out right.
These guys, man, they've got a lot of varsity game experience.
Yeah, and like I said, I think we're seeing this experience show up not only on Friday nights, but I'm really starting to see it show up on the practice field. I'm not a guy that's going to sit out there and say, okay, we have to go for 2 hours or for 3 hours. We're going to get what we have on our script done, and they're so efficient what they're doing that our times are going down, and which is good. I want their legs underneath them here this late in the season, try to get healthy, and just kind of try to stay sharp.
Coach, I didn't get to talk to you in the post game last week at Madison, and there was a record-setting performance there on with your running back.
A record setting or just a milestone?
Or a milestone. Okay. There we go.
Yeah,
That's the right word.
Absolutely. Bryce has been huge, and Bryce is the first guy, very, very humble guy. He's going to give credit to everybody around him, not only just his line, but just the passing threat as well. It's a complete package here that we get a lot of defenses that have to worry about defending all those receivers out there, and they don't have enough people in the box to stop them. And he's just run the ball so well this year. He's been a machine, and I think probably the most impressive thing to me is his yards after contact. I mean, he is dragging people, and it's every carry. So we just got to try to make sure we keep him fresh and don't run him into the ground here, because he's a big part of what we're going to do going into the playoffs.
I was talking with somebody today. He's a textbook runner, how he uses his blockers.
He's tremendous balance, patience, gets right on his blocker, right on his offensive lineman's hip, and is patient, lets the play develop. He doesn't get in too much of a rush. And then when it comes time for contact, he absorbs it, and he's just, his legs are under him all the time, and just incredible balance, one of the better ones I've seen.
Coach, facing a Pinckneyville team that, man, they could have pulled off the upset of the season a week ago against Nashville.
Yeah, they had them beat. And I think that's just the lack of experience on their side, and they just didn't know how to finish it off. But they should have won that game, and Nashville was very, very lucky to get out of there with the win. And I think it was probably good for us that happened. It kind of woke our guys up a little bit. And, on any given day that, if you don't approach things serious and you don't respect who's across from you, you could get bit. But so we've had a great week of practice, very sharp week actually, and what I want to see at this point in the year, and we'll be ready.
Thanks, Coach. We'll talk post-game.
Thanks.
There you have it, Coach Brett Dowell joining us on our pregame show, Scott Hudson. And, you have to use the right word when you describe Bryce Smith, the running back. He comes into the game tonight with 1,100 yards on the button. He's averaging 8.8 yards per carry, and he had an outstanding performance a week ago against that Madison Trojan team.
Well, and what's even more impressive about Bryce Smith and his yards he's gained this year is he's gone against teams like Benton, Murfreesboro, DuQuoin, Heron, who played Carterville, probably the closest game that they've played this year. So he's gone up against some of the very best teams in Southern Illinois, and you average 8 yards a carry. And like Coach said, he's not a kid that's going to gloat or point the finger at himself. He's going to give all the credit to that offensive line, and he's just a very, very good kid. And those are the type of kids you like to see have success because it's not about them.
And they understand that. It's everybody. It's about the team.
Right.
And he literally every time you ask him about it, he will always point to the line. He's just been a pleasure to watch this year. Let's talk about the play of quarterback Andrew Hellriegel this year. He's just been outstanding.
Mr. Consistent. That's the best way I think to call Andrew is he's just been consistent all year long. He probably hasn't had to throw the ball to this point in the season as much as maybe we thought he would coming into the season. When you have a guy like Bryce Smith running the ball, you don't have to. But he's very good with his handoffs. Very good, has a very good touch on his passes. He's got some great receivers to throw to, like Hartford, Biddle, and Berkey. So he's got the weapons, and he takes advantage of them. But he's the general out on the field. He's the quarterback. Other than the center, he's the one that only guy that touches the ball on every snap. And he's done a great job of leading this team.
I got to tell you, I thought coming into the game, he very well could have 250 to 300 throws for the season. But when you look at his stats, he's only had to throw the ball 119 times because of the running game. He's averaging, or he's thrown for 859 total yards. But when you need it, you can get it with him.
No question. And when you go into the playoffs, maybe not week 1, maybe more like week 2, or hopefully in week 3, you're probably going to have to throw the ball more because you're playing a better team each week, and they're going to find a way to stop the run or at least slow it down, so you're going to have to throw the ball. I have no doubts in my mind that Hellriegel can get the job done through the air if he has to.
That's Scott Hudson. I'm Dave McKenzie. This is our UPS Store pregame show as the band just completed their introduction to the crowd here. Carterville has a very nice crowd here at home tonight, and a decent contingent of Pinckneyville Panther fans over on the far sideline. We're going to go on and take another break, and when we come back, we'll look back at the game a week ago on the road at Madison. That's coming up here on the UPS Store pregame show on News Radio WJPF. Welcome back to our UPS Store pregame show as the Carterville Lions have just made their way onto the field. Scott, last week, 45-19. The Lions get the win against Madison. They opened the game, got the safety on Madison, but then it was Bryce Smith that went to work. Carterville facing a 3rd and 5 now. It's the snap. Bryce Smith on the carry, breaks a tackle. First down and more, keeps the legs churning. Touchdown for the Carterville Lions as Bryce Smith scores from 18 yards out with 8:54 showing on the first quarter clock. We're going to have to take a break here on our UPS Store pregame show on News Radio WJPF.
You don't have to be told the price of power is way up in winter.
This is
Warm, wood-burning stove. Parent and WCIL Carbondale, a proud member of River Radio, a division of Max Media.
Welcome back to Carterville High School. Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson, as we are getting you set for Carterville Lions football. Carterville enters the game 7-0 on the season. The Pinckneyville Panthers enter tonight. Scott Hudson, they are 2-5 on the season.
And as we mentioned earlier, almost pulled a big upset last week against Nashville, just couldn't finish the deal. I looked over there at their sideline just as they were walking out on the field. I counted 18 players, so they don't have their numbers aren't very good, but they have to feel good about what they almost did last week. I'm sure that's going to give them some confidence coming into this game tonight.
Absolutely, and what Scott's talking about, they had the lead of the game with 24 seconds left. Nashville scores to beat them 14-10, and talking with several people, Nashville made mistakes. Pinckneyville took advantage of it, but Pinckneyville played a really, really strong game against that Nashville Hornet team.
Well, those two teams are kind of like Heron and Carterville. You pick a sport, but in particular for Pinckneyville Nashville, it's basketball.
Yeah.
Those two teams really go at it. That would have been big if Pinckneyville could have pulled off the upset last week.
Both teams are making their way out onto the field. And of course, if you would like to watch the game and listen to the radio call, you can head to YouTube and you can search Pinckneyville Panthers at Carterville Lions as we are getting you set for exciting Lions football here on News Radio WJPF. As always, we appreciate you listening to our all of our Carterville broadcast here on News Radio WJPF. Pinckneyville sends two receivers back deep. Carterville's going to kick away, and Riley Crane kicks it to the receiver on the far side as he brings it to the near side, cuts it across the hash to about the 30-yard line, where there's about 3 players right there that brought him to the ground. And on the return for the Panthers, it was Marshawn Fisher.
Yeah, for Carterville, Wakey in on the tackle along with Brandon Skelcher. So we'll see Pinckneyville's offense first and see what they can do against this very, very talented Carterville defensive front.
Pinckneyville's going to have it at their own 32-yard line as Pinckneyville is wearing their solid white uniforms with the light blue numbers. Carterville wearing blue over blue here on senior night for the Carterville Lions. Ball is on the near hash. The Pinckneyville Panthers have it to start things off, and it is quarterback Jace Lee, number 11, that will do the play calling for the Pinckneyville Panthers, and coach Ryan Lott. They works from under center, and they give it to their fullback, and he is just stacked up right there at the line. I heard that in that game against Nashville, they ran that exact play right there probably about 35 times, and Nashville just couldn't stop it.
Yeah, but Carterville's got a defensive front that's hard to move, and Carterville's defense has been good all year. Right now, they have a player that hasn't played a lot of defense, Charlie Howerton, right in the middle of that defense. Okay, try to move that big man out of the way, see how far you get.
Kudos to Charlie getting the start here on senior night.
6'5", 321. He's a senior. He's worked his butt off to get back to playing shape with that knee injury he had last year.
Jace Lee is the quarterback. Chase Schneider, the running back. He wears number 12, and the ball is on the turf, and Lee falls right on it. No, couldn't come up with the snap clean, and luckily it came right to him, and he just curls up on the turf. Carterville has forced him into a 3rd and 9.
And there were 3 Carterville players led by Charlie Howerton there. Even if he does pick up the ball, he's not going anywhere.
Officially, it's 3rd and 10, the ball back at the 32-yard line. Carterville like to get the big 4th down stop here, as Jace Lee brings his troops to the line of scrimmage, sends 2 receivers to the far side. Everybody else in tight. Ball on the near hash. Lee from under center takes the snap, wants to throw it, lost the handle, and he lost the football, and it winds up in his hands. And right there, I believe it may have been Zach Miller that, or maybe Jordan Cordes on the tackle.
Well, the first one to get to the quarterback was Riley Bradford, and then Zachariah Miller finished him off. Again, that was going to be a quick throw to the outside, and he still didn't have time to get rid of it.
Well, he lost the grip of the football. Yeah. He went to throw the screen, and it just wound up right in his own hand. That's how I throw the ball.
Well, that's how I punt it. But, again, when you've got that kind of pressure coming on, I would probably fumble it too.
4th and 17 from the 25, set up to punt. Oh, the punter, that is Kellen Scott, tries to take it to the outside. Scott's got good speed, picks it all the way. He's going to come up about 5 yards short on that carry, but Kellen Scott, outstanding basketball player. We've seen his speed on the basketball court, and he picked up about 15 yards on that run right there.
Yeah, just not enough for a first down, so Carterville will take over at Pinckneyville's 35. I think he had enough time to punt the ball even after the bad snap, but he decided to take it and run and almost got the first down.
Well, Carterville's going to have excellent field position to start off, as they are going to have it at the Pinckneyville 35-yard line. So Andrew Hellriegel will bring his offensive players. Ball's on the far hash. Has 2 receivers to the left side. In the backfield, of course, Bryce Smith. Hellriegel rolls to his left, screen pass left side, overthrows his receiver. That was intended for Peyton Biddle, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 now for Carterville.
And Blake Berkey pancaked his defensive back on the ground, so if Biddle is able to catch that ball, which was thrown way over his head, he would have had some running room to the near sideline.
9:30 on the first quarter clock. 2nd and 10 now for the Lions. Again from the far hash. Hellriegel gives it to Bryce Smith. Smith right up the middle, across the 30 to the 35. First down and a couple of yards more for the senior running back with 1,100 yards coming into the game tonight. And he just picked up about 12 right there. So let's see, 11 and 12. That's 1,112 yards.
Very good.
See how I did that on the fly?
I can't believe you didn't get an A+ in math in school.
I didn't.
Well, you probably got an A-.
I did. Not an A-. I would have paid for an A-. First down for the Lions from the 23. Hellriegel, swing pass left side. That's Blake Berkey. Berkey to the 20. Cuts it up to the 15, to the 10. Keeps his feet and down inside the 5 to about the 1-yard line. A gain of 22 on that throw from Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey.
And somebody we haven't seen a lot on offense this year for Carterville, Talon Walker and Peyton Biddle out in front of Berkey, opening up some room for him to get down inside the 5.
It'll be 2nd and goal. Excuse me, 1st and goal.
First and goal, they place it actually at the 2-yard line, a gain of 21 on that, and Carterville scores. Right there is it's Bryce Smith. Nope, Blake Berkey on the reception.
Hellriegel takes the snap, a quick throw to the outside, and Berkey made one defender miss, and he's able to get into the end zone. So Carterville scores quickly on their first possession of the game.
Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey, and that comes at the 8:46 mark here of the first quarter. Carterville leads it 6-0. Riley Crane is on for the extra point. Riley, the sophomore kicker. Some Pinckneyville chumps, and I'm telling, that's what, 7 times, 8 times this season that Skelcher's call has been able to get the defense to jump on an extra point, and that's just huge sometimes. And look what happens. Carterville is not going to waste any time. They're going to bring in their offense and go for 2.
Well, not only has it worked 7 or 8 times this year, think about this. Your players have to be smart and not jump the gun as well. So Carterville's done a very good job this year with that.
Carterville's a player short, and coming in here at the last second is going to be Jackson Smith. He comes charging on to the field. Jackson, who came in and started as a freshman. He's a freshman, and he's so big. He's just a monster. It's the give to Bryce Smith. The 2-point conversion is good. Carterville leads this ball game 8-0 at the 8:46 mark of the first quarter. Stay with us. More Lions football coming up in 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
When you Equal housing lender.
Carterville Lions lead the Pinckneyville Panthers 8-0 after the 2-yard pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey. The 2-point conversion is good, and it is 8-0 here in the first quarter. There's a ton of good games. Johnston City and Carmi-White County tonight. That's a big game.
Benton Murfreesboro, Heron-Harrisburg. We've got an update on the Heron-Harrisburg game. 9:48 to go in the first. Harrisburg leads Heron 14-0.
And the kickoff is taken by Jonah Tanner right at the 30-yard line, and that's where Panthers are going to start here on their second possession of the game.
I think this game, Dave, is a lot like the Madison game in that Coach Dahl would like to have a big lead at halftime, get his starters out, let some of the reserves play. And, you know, anytime you can get rest, I don't care if it's a quarter, 2 quarters, at this time of year, that could pay big dividends come playoff time.
Absolutely. Carterville was able to get out to that 45-0 lead a week ago. Running clock in the second half. Panthers on the offensive side of the ball. Jace Lee, the quarterback, and flag comes in. They're going to say offside against the Carterville Lions. They'll mark off the 5 yards. Yeah, there's a lot of good games around Southern Illinois. DuQuoin Nashville is tonight. That's a big game for both of those teams.
Yeah, and again, they don't like each other, so to speak. But you've got, as I say, Johnson City Carmi. We've got an assistant over at Johnson City tonight who will be giving us updates on that game.
Panthers just charge it right up the middle on the carry for the Panthers. And it's going to be a gain of about 4 on that, bringing up a 2nd down and 1.
That's a good surge from that Pinckneyville offensive line. That's the first time in this game that they've able to actually move forward with their running game.
2nd and 1 now for the Panthers. As the running back, Chase Schneider, he's right up behind his quarterback Lee and gives it to him, picks up the first down, has about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards. So the Panthers pick up their first down of the ball game.
Nothing special, nothing fancy, just hand off and go right up the middle.
Well, the benefits to that for the Pinckneyville Panthers is that it runs the clock. They want to keep the ball out of the Lions' hands.
Yeah, they want to keep Carterville's offense on the sideline. Carterville has replaced Charlie Howerton, who's 6'5", 321. They've brought in Eli Morse, who's 6'3", 334.
Little guy.
Yeah, he's little.
Tiny.
What happened?
So Lee again. Schneider on the carry. Gets stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, maybe about a yard. On that, it'll depend on the spot. It does look like they're going to give him 1 yard, so it'll bring up 2nd and 9. Now, this isn't very exciting football for the Pinckneyville Panthers, but they're just looking for effective.
Yeah, they're just looking for efficiency, and as we talked about, keep Carterville's offense on the sideline. You don't want Carterville's offense out there any more, than they have to be, and they'll take they'd like to take 6-7 minutes off this clock and then to drive with some points.
They run the play clock down to 7 seconds. Lee turns around. Now he's going to keep it. Has some pressure. Got past the defender. Takes it to the outside to the far sideline. Bang! Popped out of bounds over on the far sideline. Gain of 7 on that carry by the quarterback, Jace Lee.
Eli Mooring in on the stop, but having a little bit of success running up the middle, set up that play to the outside because Jordan Cordis could not cut him off when he started to go outside. I think Jordan may have thought that ball was going up the middle like it had the last 3 or 4 plays, but they went to the outside and got big yards out of it.
Ball is right on midfield stripe, the 50-yard line. It's on the far hash. Jace Lee, the quarterback, needs 3.5 yards for a first down, and a whistle stops play.
I think it's going to be
against Carterville again. It may be an offside once again. And that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah.
That's a huge penalty right there. Lions don't need to be doing that.
No, the one thing you don't want to do against a team that you're really better than, you don't want to get sloppy with your play, especially this time of year. You want to be consistent. You want to start playing your best football of the season. And penalties, I'm sure, is something that's going to drive Coach Dial crazy in a game like this.
Ball's at the Carterville 45 after that offside. 6 minutes remaining. The opening quarter, Carterville leads it 8-0. It's the give to the running back, Schneider. And again, just falls forward for a yard, 2, maybe 3 yards there. It's going to be a gain of 2 from Chase Schneider.
And Pinckneyville's offensive line isn't that big, but they may be quick, just like Carterville's defensive line isn't super big unless you've got Morris or Howerton in the middle. But Carterville's defensive line is very quick, so right now Pinckneyville's doing a very good job on this drive.
Here comes Lee, has a receiver left, one receiver to the right side. Rolls right, pitch to the jet back, and there's a defender right there. Peyton Biddle wraps him up. Whoa, what a defensive play by Peyton Biddle as the jet back Marshawn Fisher took the pitch from Jace Lee, and Biddle was right in his grill and spun him to the ground.
Biddle read that play brilliantly. He made a very good open field tackle to not let him get away and get to the outside. Then he had his friend Eli Mooring come along and finish the play off. But a good play by Biddle, the senior.
A loss of 3 on that carry. Balls at the 46-yard line for the Panthers. Boy, that was a good defensive play.
Very good. Early score from Johnson City. Johnson City leads Carmite 7-0.
Good ball game. That's for the Black Diamond title there at Johnson City tonight. Jace Lee, flag from the back judge. And it's going to be against the Pinckneyville Panthers. They had 12 guys on the field, I do believe.
Well, maybe now we know how Pinckneyville almost pulled that upset off. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take anything away from a team that knows they're not going to the playoffs, but they're still out here playing hard. And that's what coaches want to see, kids who are willing to go out there and compete no matter what the circumstances are.
That's what they were very happy about. That penalty puts the ball back at their own 49-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 16, 4-10 remaining here in this opening quarter. Jace Lee takes the snap, is going to keep it, looks to throw right on top of him. Holy moly, that was Zachariah Miller, and Jace Lee is little slow getting up. I don't think he expected that.
No, I don't think he expected that at all, but that shows the quickness of Miller, who he's kind of a mini-me Aaron Donald. But if that play had happened in the NFL last week, they would have thrown a flag for roughing the passer.
You're going to go there already.
I am going to go there.
I can't wait till tomorrow. Panthers are forced to punt. Carterville sends their receiver deep. That's Nick Bishing back to take the punt. The kick is away. Bishing's going to let it hit and get away from it. He does. He lets it roll back inside the 20. So after the change of possession, the Carterville Lions are going to have their second possession of the game. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in downtown Carterville. Punctual service, 5-star satisfaction, and the experience that comes from 40 years in the business. Find out more at charliesairandheat.com. 3:17 on the clock here in the first quarter. Carterville getting the ball back for the second time in the game.
Well, we might talk at halftime. We got time a little bit about the playoffs coming up and what we can expect and maybe some possible pairings. But first of all, Carterville's got to worry about the Pinckneyville Panthers.
Lions have it near hash. Throws it out to the right side. The throw was high, but on the catch, Nolan Hartford went up high to get it, and he's met right there by the defender. It's going to be a gain of about 4 on that little short pass from Hellriegel to Nolan Hartford.
Well, a very good open field tackle by the defensive back for Pinckneyville.
Lions go quick once again, and on the carry, Bryce Smith. And he picks up enough on the first down.
He is just so good. He understands the game from the standpoint of following his blockers, knowing when to cut inside or outside, and knowing when to just lower your shoulder and try to run somebody over.
Coach Brett Dial going hurry up against this Pinckneyville defense as he puts a man in motion. Hellriegel looks left, throws it left. Biddle goes up high to get the pass. Has 3 defenders on him, but he completes it for a gain of about 7 on that throw from the quarterback, Andrew Hellriegel.
And this is also a game, Dave, where Carterville might be able to work on some things that maybe they haven't done this year to prepare them for the playoffs.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Hellriegel pump fake left, throws it deep down the sideline. Blake Berkey's wide open right down the sideline to the 30, to the 20, 10, 5. Blake Berkey on the reception. That is going to be a 65-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey.
Hellriegel looked to his left, did the old pump fake. The defensive back stopped, and that was the kiss of death because Berkey ran right by him, and Hellriegel threw a perfect pass to hit Berkey in stride, and then with his speed, he was not going to be caught.
2:09 mark of the first quarter. Carterville leads it 14-0, and yeah, that little pump fake, like you said, froze the defender. Berkey just flashed right by him.
Boy, they've worked that a couple of times this year.
Yes, they have. Riley Crane for the extra point. Brandon Skelcher on the hold. The snap, the hold, the kick is good. Carterville, with 2:09 remaining in the opening quarter, lead the Pinckneyville Panthers. It is 15-0 here on News Radio WJPF.
This is News Radio WJPF, Heron.
15-0 our score with 2:09 remaining in the opening quarter. It was a 65-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey. And the extra point was good. Lions up 15-0.
A couple of quick scores at Harrisburg. Bulldogs lead Heron now 21-0. And Johnson City and Carmi are now tied at 7.
Oh, such a good game up there. If we didn't have a game tonight here, Scott, we'd be there.
That's where I would be.
It's taken by the Panthers, makes a spin move at the 30, out across the 40-yard line.
The Panthers will begin their drive. 1st and 10.
2:01 here. Happy Friday to you. Beautiful weather tonight. The winds have laid down. It is absolutely great night for high school football. Jace Lee, the quarterback for the Panthers. Oh, Zachariah Miller.
No, that's Riley Bradford.
Oh, that is Bradford.
Bradford,
right up
the
middle.
first one in, and Riley told Mr. Miller, "Take a seat, buddy. It's my turn."
He just anticipated the snap and just was right in the backfield.
I
No place to go.
I don't think in my 27 years of calling football that I've enjoyed watching a defense more than this one. They are so fun to watch. That defensive line, not super big, but they're very quick. This is just a fun group to watch.
They'll try it again. Ball right in the middle of the field at the 40. And it's the give to Schneider. And there's nothing there. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 13 now for the Panthers. You know, last week, you may have noticed that we didn't mention Jordan Cordes' name because he sat out a game. He's been nursing a quad injury, but he's back tonight. And no, he was pumped and ready to go.
When the Lions came out for pregame warm-ups, he was the first player out on the field. You can tell he was ready. I have a correction on the John City game. Carmine got stopped on their 2-point conversion, so John City's up 7-6.
7-6, a 1-point game there. We'll keep you up to date on scores from around Southern Illinois all evening. A quick pitch to the outside. Not even getting back to the original line of scrimmage is on the carry. It was Marshawn Fisher. He was the jet back. And a great defensive stop by Blake Berkey. And they're looking at a 4th down now for the Panthers.
Well, that was Talon Walker from his left defensive end that can make the stop. And if you've noticed, if you've listened carefully to this broadcast so far, we have mentioned several names on that defense. It's just not one or two guys.
It's everybody.
Everybody makes an impact on that defense, and Walker made one there.
So that's going to end the first quarter. Pinckneyville's going to talk about what they're going to do on this 4th and 11 play. Carterville leads it 15-0 here on News Radio WJPF.
At the Bank of Heron, we know that between family and work, it can be a challenge to find the time to take care of things like going to the bank. And really what you need is a way to do your banking on the go. Well, we've got good news. With the Bank of Heron mobile banking app, you can manage debit cards, find bank locations, monitor account activity, even make a deposit. Just a few of the ways our mobile banking app can save you a trip to the bank. We love for you to come and see us, but now you don't have to. The Bank of Heron, it's not just a bank, it's mobile banking. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Ron Ward Chevrolet in Heron, we are teaming up to bring you the best deal on your next vehicle. At Ron Ward, we always have over 100 cars to choose from. You can shop our entire selection at RonWardChevy.com. Come test drive your next vehicle, and we'll have the car and keys ready before you arrive. Now that's teamwork. So come see our team at Ron Ward Chevy in Heron. We support all of our Southern Illinois athletes. We wish you all the best. Ron Ward Chevrolet. Straight deals. Most prices. Ron Ward Chevrolet.
15-0 is the score as we start play here in the second quarter. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson. Lions lead it 15-0. Pinckneyville facing a 4th and 11. And at least for the moment, they are showing punt as Kellen Scott does the punting for the Panthers. The ball at the far hash. He's standing at his own 25-yard line. High snap, has to go back to get it. Has time, kicks it away. Going to kick away from the receiver. Actually, it's taken by Nick Bishing right at the 23-yard line, and Carterville's going to have the football right there.
Well, Nick Bishing had a very good game at Madison last week. Had that pick 6 in the second half, and you know he's showing that if and when his name and number's called, he can help this Lions team. As a matter of fact, he's going to stay out there on offense right now.
Ball is at the 33-yard line. Carterville's moving right to left. They've scored twice. Last possession, a 65-yard touchdown pass from Hellriegel to Berkey as Hellriegel looks to throw, throws it out right side and has no one. Hartford around the 40-yard line. We'll see where the spot is, but coming out and throwing on first down, I like when they do that.
Yeah, last year you had the Killer Bees, Barton, Biddle, and Berkey. On that play, you had the Killer Bees, Bishing, Biddle, and Berkey. All
Field to the 50. Nobody is going to get to him. He's across the 30 to the 20 to the 10. Touchdown from the 41-yard line. That is a 59-yard touchdown run for the quarterback of the Lions. That's Andrew Hellriegel.
Great ball fake to Smith. He held the ball in his gut as long as he could to find out who was going to commit to the running back. He pulled it out, and it was like the parting of the Red Sea. There was nobody in the middle of the field, and Hellriegel took it for a long touchdown run.
59-yard touchdown run from the quarterback for the Carterville Lions, Andrew Hellriegel, untouched as he just split the defenders and outraced everyone.
I mean, once he got 8 yards past the line of scrimmage, there was nobody to be found.
Riley Crane for the extra point. Carterville fakes the kick, throws it, the 2-point conversion. The intended receiver out there for the Carterville Lions was Braden Wakey, and the ball was thrown behind him from Skelcher. And Wakey tried to make that back shoulder catch, just couldn't get to turn.
Again, this is something that maybe they're using this game to work on some things for the playoffs. Ball was thrown behind Wakey. I think he probably should have caught it, but still thrown behind. But I like the way Coach Dahl is mixing things up.
Carterville leads it 21-0 with 11:36 remaining in the first half here on News Radio WJPF.
Don't let the name fool you. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, represents more than just electricians. The IBEW is made up of Southern Illinois linemen, tree trimmers, telephone workers, utility workers, city employees, factory workers, construction workers, and many more. So when you support the IBEW, you're really supporting Southern Illinois. Help make Southern Illinois a brighter place. Put your trust in the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all.
21-0. The Lions have the lead, and the kick is taken at the 30-yard line by the Pinckneyville Panthers and dropped right in his tracks at the 36-yard line. On the carry, 16, Kellerman. And he's dropped right there in his tracks.
Luke Johnson, the sophomore, who's had a very good season. 6'3", 140, or excuse me, yes. No, they got listed as he's taller than 5'3". That's what they have him listed at, 5'3", 145, a sophomore. I guarantee he's taller than that.
Got him.
Is that 6'3"?
5'3" is what
I think that's a typo.
That's my typo. Panthers from their own 37. Trail by 3 touchdowns. And stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain at all as it was the give to Schneider.
Marion leads in their game at the end of 1, 7-0. I believe they're playing Carbondale tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Marion's winning 7-0. At the end of one quarter, Benton leads Murfreesboro 14-0.
That's another big game. That's got some playoff implications right there. Of course, Upton, the running back for Benton, one of the equally as good as Bryce Smith season-wise.
That team has gotten better each week since week 1.
Yes, they have. Panthers run it right up the gut again on the carry. Schneider gets about another yard, so it's going to bring up. They're going to give him 2 on that, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 now.
Bryce Smith comes in. Charlie Howerton comes out, expecting Pinckneyville to go to the air, although they haven't had time to throw the ball when they've wanted to.
No. We may have seen their last pass attempt in the ball game because
probably by the request of their quarterback.
Yeah,
hey, Coach, I want to wake up tomorrow morning and not feel like I've been put in the the washing machine.
10 minutes remaining in the first half, and the quarterback wrapped up. He can't hand it off to anybody. And Jace Lee, actually, they wound up getting the handoff to Jay Snyder. I didn't think he did, but Snyder loses about a yard on that carry. So now, again, It is 4th down. 4th and 7 from the 40. Loss of 1.
Cordes, Bradford, Miller, all in on the tackle.
Kellen Scott to do the kicking once again. He's back inside the 25, stands at the 23. Bishing is the return man for the Lions. Keller's kick, this is a line drive kick. Hits at the 43, bounces inside the 35. Bishing lets it roll, and it's going to come dead at the 30-yard line. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702. Proud supporter of Lions Sports, IBEW Local 702. Dedicated to providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all.
Well, Carterville's had their way in this first half so far, kind of what we expected. Other than a couple of penalties, Carterville's really had a clean first half.
It's the give to Bryce Smith. Fights off the tacklers at the line of scrimmage, but finally wrestled to the ground after a gain of 2. Lions are facing a 2nd down and 8 now. Ball out to the 32-yard line for Smith. Bryce entered the game with 1,100 yards last week. Rushed for his milestone 1,000th yard. It's the pitch to the outside. Nolan Norton. Bryce Smith just keeps fighting. He just bounces off defenders. The quick pitch from Hellriegel to Smith. He gets it out, and they're going to mark it about 1 inch. No, they're going to move the chains. They're going to say it was enough. Didn't know if it was or not, but Lions get the first down.
Well, he bounced off 2 would-be tacklers, and that's another play we haven't seen a lot this year, that pitch play to the outside.
I like it. Trip receivers to the far side now. Hellriegel from the shotgun. Throws it to his lone receiver on the right side. That is Nolan Hartford as he makes a move and gets out to the 40-yard line before he's wrapped up right there. Great yardage on that first down run or pass to Nolan Hartford.
Nice slant pattern by Hartford, and Hellriegel hit him in stride, and another Carterville first down.
Out to the 42 now of the Panthers. 7:56 on the clock. 3 receivers left side. Low snap. Throws it across the middle. Bishing has it. Ball comes out. He can't gather it up. He bounced right to him, and it got away, and the Panthers wind up falling on the fumble. He had one defender to beat, and the defender knocked the ball out of his hand. Nick Bishing couldn't fall on it, and the Panthers now catch a break, and they get the football back with 7:42 on the clock.
Yeah, Bishing was wide open. I mean, Pinckneyville has to worry about Berkey. They have to worry about Biddle. And they have to worry about Hartford. And Bishing just found that open spot. And like you said, it looked like at first he might go the distance, but he got the ball knocked out of his hand. It looked like it came right back to him, but he knocked it forward, and Pinckneyville recovered.
Oh, Nick, that's all right, buddy. He'll wind up with a pick or something here tonight. Panthers have it now. It's 1st and 10 from the 16. Moving right to left on your radio dial, Jace Lee. The pitch to his jet back, gets to the outside across the 20 to the 25, tries to get to the far sideline where he's finally rammed out of bounds. Nice pitch there, and I believe that may have been, that's Fisher once again for the Panthers.
Johnson knocks him out of bounds, but not before about 9 yards. And, you know, Pinckneyville's been running the ball between the tackles. So when you fake that run and go to the outside, you've got a lot of Carterville Lions in that box, so to speak, and they had a little bit of room once they got to the outside.
Jace Lee, who has worked pretty much from center every single snap. 2nd and 1 now for the Panthers. It's the give to Schneider. He's got the first down for Pinckneyville as he falls forward for a gain of 3. Panthers have a first down. 7:28 as the clock rolls here in the first half. Coming up, we're going to have our Polar Whip halftime report. It's 1st down and 10 from the 29-yard line for Pinckneyville. Pinckneyville wearing all white with that baby blue Carolina blue, I think is what you call that, right? Panthers taking their time, under 10 on the play clock. Gets the pitch, and ball's on the turf. Carterville gets it right there on the recovery for the Lions. Oh, Elijah Mooring.
He was there, and I'll tell you what, the Pinckneyville pitchman, Kellen Scott, when the ball got away from him, he made no attempt to fall on the loose ball. None whatsoever. He didn't want any part of going to the ground, and I'm sure the coaches will talk to him about that because he made no attempt to fall on that fumble.
I think it helped that he may have kicked it a little bit too when he fumbled it. 1st and 10 from the 26 at the 6:57 mark. Right up the gut, it's Bryce Smith. Takes it to the 10, to the 5, keeps his feet there. Are they going to give it to him? Yes! Bryce Smith on the 26-yard touchdown run for the Carterville Lions.
Wow. He had a hole to the left side and then zigged and zagged his way down towards the goal line and dove towards the goal line. I wasn't for sure that he made it in, but he did. And the Lions are on the board yet again.
Man, good run for Bryce Smith, the senior. 27-0, 6:48 remaining in the first half. Snap. Kick. Good. 28-0. Carterville leads the Pinckneyville Panthers here on News Radio WJPF.
SI Suzuki Strings has music classes and lessons available for all ages. Learn to play.
Lions are up on top of the Pinckneyville Panthers 28-0.
Yep. Other than the one fumble by Bishing and a couple of penalties, this has been how they execute those in case they want to use those in the playoffs.
Senior night here at Carterville, and the seniors are performing as the kickoff skips past the return man. He picks it up and takes it to the far sideline, trying to get to the sideline, and finally wrapped up about the 16-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will start.
Now we have a flag that was thrown by the official that was standing at the 50. Got a pretty good arm. I don't know if it's maybe a hold on Pinckneyville. Well, he picked it up already. Personal foul.
Against the Panthers.
Yeah, I couldn't see what the personal foul.
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Steve and Rich's Barber Styling. Full-service salon on Division Street in Carterville. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 5. Saturdays from 8 until 2. So they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do on the call.
They're going to take it from the line of scrimmage. And I didn't, as a personal foul, I did not see what the personal foul was, but it's a 15-yarder, or 10-yarder, excuse me.
So they take it back inside the 10, and they're going to mark it down at the 8-yard line. So that's where the Panthers will start. 6:42 showing here in the first half. So a long way to go for the Panthers. They have it at their own -8. 6:42, Lions up 28-0. Put the jet back in motion.
Ball's on the ground.
Yes,
Carterville says they have it.
Carterville says they have it.
It is Carterville ball.
How about that on the fumble? I didn't see who fumbled it. I didn't know if it was Lee, if it was Schneider.
I don't know who recovered for Carterville. A lot of people are going up to Talon Walker and congratulating him. He was on the ground, so it may have been Talon that either caused the fumble or recovered or both.
So Carterville, chance to add on to this 28-0 lead. The ball is actually at the 7-yard line. Who's going to get the carry? They send 3 receivers to the right side. They have 1 to the left. Hellriegel rolls to his right, looks for somebody to open up, throws it to the back corner, caught by Peyton Biddle. Did he get the feet down? They said no. Oh, it didn't miss it by much. He was able to tap the white on the sideline with his toes, but that's out of bounds. Man, nice throw, nice rollout, nice catch. Just couldn't get the toes down.
Yeah, Hartford ran out of real estate, and Hellriegel probably would like to have that back and throw it a little bit sooner than he did.
Hellriegel, once again, 3 receivers right side, throws this one across the middle, and it's caught for a touchdown. And that is Cade Lustenberger on the reception for the Carterville Lions on the 7-yard touchdown pass.
A very good catch by Lustenberger, because Lustenberger checks in. What kind of? I don't even have him on my roster. Yeah, there he is. He's at 6'5", and the ball was thrown about between his knees and his waist, and he was able to corral the ball and make a nice catch.
Carterville lining up for the extra point. The 7-yard touchdown pass. Kick is good, and the Lions now lead it 35-0 with 6:20 showing on the clock in the first half. Stay with us. More Lions football next on News Radio WJPF.
When you go mobile with First Mid, you have the power of banking in your hand. Download the First Mid mobile.
Okay.
Learn more. Member FDIC.
With 6:20 remaining in the first half, the Carterville Lions lead at 35-0 after the 7-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Cade Lustenberger.
Second quarter score, Carmi has scored 14 unanswered and now lead the Johnston City Indians 14-7.
The kick to the Panthers is bobbled at the 20. It's picked up, makes a move, and is brought down at the 30. The ball comes out. Carterville picks it up. Nick Bishingham has it. But they're going to say he was on the turf after the return from Marshawn Fisher, and Panthers caught a break right there.
Yeah, I think they did. I thought the whistle blew a little early. But Pinckneyville will keep the ball at their own, looks like, 30-yard line.
Running out of room on my sheet here, Scott Edson.
Well, you just have to store all that knowledge in your head.
Hey, we're going to SIU tomorrow.
Yes, we are. SIU and Western Illinois, the Leathernecks, who come into the game against SIU 0-5 overall, 0-2 in the conference. And Dave, here's something that I don't know the last time I've seen this stat. Western Illinois comes in only averaging 14 points a game. That is woeful.
Well, it is woeful.
That is
bad. Woeful. So you'll hear the word woeful several times tomorrow. Live from Saluki Row starting at 11 o'clock. Panthers look to throw. The pass across the middle. Receivers wide open. Caught at the 42 of Carterville. Taken down to the 35 of Carterville. And on the reception, it is Asher Jostle who got behind the Carterville defense. And give credit to Jace Lee. He's been pounded all game, but he hung in there, got the ball away, and that's a big O gain for the Panthers.
He rolled to his right and threw a perfect spiral downfield. A very, very well-thrown ball, and Pinckneyville is in Carterville territory, I believe, for the first time tonight.
34-yard gain on that pass to Jostle.
Well, you lull a defense to sleep with the running game, and then boom, you hit him with a nice pass play.
That'll wake everybody up defensively. As Snyder takes the handoff and falls across the 35 to the 34-yard line, a gain of 1, second down and 9. Actually, a gain of 2.
I think Talon Walker was the man for Carterville to bring him down. And Cordes. Well, I don't know. I don't know too many high schools in Southern Illinois that can say they got 2 defensive ends like Cordes and Walker.
No, I agree. 5 minutes exactly remaining in the first half. And a flag comes in from the near side. It's going to be motion on the Panthers. It's going to back them up 5 more yards, so it'll bring up second down and 13 now.
I got a little nervous when I heard the PA announcer has said, can I please have your attention? Last time I heard that was a week ago, and my truck was parked illegally in West Frankfort.
That's funny, Scott. Clock rolls. Panthers have it. And on that little dive from the fullback, on the carry, Chase Snyder.
Well, our assistant up at John C. says John C. has fumbled twice now and had 2 or 3 penalties. Carmi has taken advantage of that and now lead Johnson City 21-7.
Wow.
You cannot turn the ball over to a good team.
No, you can't. And both those teams undefeated.
Yes. Yes, sirree.
Next Friday night, Carterville hits the road at Harrisburg Bulldogs. Under 4 to play here in the half. Lions would like to get it back and get one more score. Panthers on the pitch. Out across the 40 to the 35. Again, it's going to wind up being a gain of 1. And on the carry, on the pitch, it was Kellen Scott. Carterville covers that quick pitch well and forces the Panthers now into a 4th down.
Smith and Billen on the tackle for Carterville. So bring up 4th and 10 when you're down 35-0 in the second quarter. You're going to go for it.
Absolutely, especially when you're in Carterville territory.
Yeah.
It was a big 34-yard pass. It took them from their own 36 to the Carterville 34.
They may not get this play off.
4 seconds, 3, 2, they do. Lee rolls, has some pressure, throws it up, right side, just throws it up, and it's incomplete, and Carterville forces the 4th down and change of possession, and the Lions will get the ball back with 2:58 remaining here in the second quarter.
Hartford was covering the wide receiver. It looked like he might be able to turn and make the interception. Then all of a sudden, Biddle flashes in front of him. I thought maybe he was going to be able to pick it, but the quarterback did a nice job of seeing Cordes come towards him, and he just stepped inside of Cordes, got the ball away, but incomplete, and Carterville takes over on downs.
Carterville wants 40 points. They want to get that rolling clock to start the second half. Hellriegel has 2 receivers right. 3 receivers right, rather. Throws it to the left side. That is Bryce Smith on the swing pass. Takes it to the outside across midfield to the 40, to the 45, to the 30, to the 20. Makes a move on 2 defenders. Leaves them laying on the turf. And a 65-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Bryce Smith.
Smith only had one Carterville player out there to help him as far as getting a path to the end zone. After he got by that Carterville wide receiver, he had to do everything on his own. And I counted 1, 2 jock straps that are laying over on the far sideline that belong to the Pinckneyville Panther defenders.
He shook them right out of them. I know that. 2:42 remaining. Carterville leads at 41-0. A 65-yard. That's 2 65-yard passes. Not one was a 59. Sorry. Extra point is good. Lions lead it 42-0. Extra point was good. Hey, Lions up 42-0 here on News Radio WJPF.
Rob Hit Barbecue.
Right. Okay. Lions lead it 42-0, still with 2:42 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, Carmi now leads Johnson City 22-7. Another update, Kyrie Slukins of Heron has caught a 70-yard touchdown pass. That cuts Harrisburg's lead to 21-7 late in the second quarter.
65-yard pass from Hellriegel to Bryce Smith. He shook off 2 defenders, shook them out of their boots over on the far sideline. The kick from Riley Crane is going to be taken by the Panthers at the 16-yard line, up across the 20 to the 30, and finally is corralled right there at about the 35, and that's where the Panthers will start here. I'm going to draw a line up here to start over. Pinckneyville has it with 2:33. And they are getting shut out 42-0.
Yeah, before long, and it may be after this half because there's only 2:33 left, you'll start seeing a lot of reserves play. A lot of the Carterville starters will come out and get a rest like they did at Madison last week. And as I said earlier, Dave, you know as well as I do, anytime in this part of the season you can get extra rest, you'll take it because you know that the real battles are coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yep, and add to that if you can get away healthy.
Yes.
Ball is on the turf. Carterville says they have it, and yes, they do.
Wow.
And coming out with it, Riley Bradford with the fumble recovery. Wow, how about that?
Now, Carterville's defense is getting in on the quarterback and or running back so quickly that the exchanges aren't good. The running back does not have a chance to really get control of the football. And Carterville's defensive front, which has been very good all year, creates yet another Panther turnover.
At the 36 of the Panthers. Coach Brett Dial has his offense around him. Here they come. Andrew Hellriegel, Blake Berkey, Peyton Biddle, Nolan Hartford.
Going to have to get this play off quickly.
Talon
3 seconds
Walker,
left.
3, 2, they do. As Hellriegel spins out, rolls right, throws it to the right side. Receiver was Nolan Hartford, the intended receiver, and the ball was just a little bit short. And falls incomplete.
Yeah, one of the few times tonight that Andrew has thrown the ball short. Had Hartford wide open.
It was about a 27, 28-yard pass on the roll.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to have our Polar Whip halftime show. We'll run through scores from around Southern Illinois. Carterville leads it here 42-0. And the quick pitch to Blake Berkey cuts it straight up the gut, right up the middle. Makes a move at the 20. Stays on his feet and is finally ankle tackled and comes down at the 11-yard line. First down for Carterville.
And that's something we haven't seen this year is Berkey.
On the jet pitch?
On the jet pitch. And he's got this. You know, I think Berkey's the type of athlete that he's sneaky fast. He doesn't look like he's very fast, but let me tell you what, he can burn.
Hellriegel again rolls right, throws it across the middle. Receiver Peyton Biddle, and he just couldn't catch the ball. Thrown a little bit high, took a pretty good pop after the ball. The defender was just standing there, and Peyton kind of ran right into him, but they tap fist bump and picks up his towel. Carterville now facing a 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line.
Yeah, Biddle was open in the back of the end zone, and I think if, again, that's a tough play to make for the quarterback and the receiver, but I think if Biddle would have just stopped, Hellriegel probably could have hit him in the back of the end zone.
3 receivers right side, but they throw it to the left. It's caught by Nolan Hartford, and an 11-yard touchdown pass for the Lions. Andrew Hellriegel to Nolan Hartford.
Well, pick your poison. Who do you want to try to stop in the passing game? Is it Biddle? Is it Berkey? Is it Hartford? Just, take your pick.
It's not even fair.
It's
really.
not. It really causes defensive coordinators a problem because you really can't double team any of them. You have to play man to man, and somebody is going to get open almost every play.
Riley Crane. The extra point. Good. 49 to nothing. Carterville on top of the Pinckneyville Panthers here on senior night at Carterville High School on NewsRadio WJPF.
Are you a safe, professional, over-the-road truck driver? You can make really good money with Clark Transportation. $24 to $26 an hour for your first 40 hours a week. Then overtime kicks in at $36 to $39.
49 to nothing. Now Carterville leading it over the Panthers. Still a minute 44 remaining here in the second quarter rather.
Johnson City has scored and cut the Carmi lead now to 22 to 15.
Tell you what, that's going to come down to about a 1-2 point ball game up there.
I do believe you'd be correct. Heard you had to park about 5 blocks away to even get to the game.
Your car would be towed.
It would be.
Panthers take the kickoff, makes a move at the 30-yard line, and brought down at about the 38-yard line. That's where the Panthers will have it with a minute 40 remaining here in this second quarter. Going to mark it down right at the 39-yard line.
It's amazing, Dave, that the technology that high schools have nowadays compared to when we played. Of course, that was back in the covered wagon days. But they have a big screen TV down on the sideline replaying the downs that were just played and showing the players, okay, if you'd done this or you'd done that. It's just crazy how technology has really changed the game.
That's one thing we haven't really talked a whole lot about this year, Scott, is the assistant coaches for Carterville. Brett gets all of the recognition, but you're talking about guys like Jake Wakey. He's been an assistant for years and years. Sean Geralds, Sean Langtang, Nate Biddle, Dylan Samuel, Otis Tuttle. This year, we haven't even talked about the fact Joel Samberski's an assistant coach for the Carterville Lions.
Yeah, he comes, I think, out, a couple of times a week
we just bring him out of the closet and stack him up out there. He talks a couple of times. And
this is such a close-knit group. The coaches respect the kids respect the coaches. They fight for each other. You couldn't ask for a better situation.
No, you couldn't. They even brought him out of retirement during practice one day to play quarterback on a set of drills they were working on. It was on his birthday.
And they probably said, Jordan, you can't hit Joel Samberski. No, and much as you'd like to, you cannot hit him.
I went up to him after it was all over with. I said, I got a couple of pictures of you I'm going to post. I'm going to say it was discovered that Joel Samberski it was found he had 15 minutes of high school eligibility left, and he decided to use it in practice and went 5 for 12. And he said, it wasn't that bad, was it? I said 7 for 12 then.
Another update, quick update. Now Johnson City and Carmi tied 22-22.
That's how it's going to be right there.
Man, what a game.
13 seconds on the clock. This will be the last play of the half. Panthers have it. The quick pitch on the jet back. Takes it to the outside, down the sideline, and pushed out of bounds over on the far sideline. And clock stops with 2.7 seconds left. Marshawn Fisher, the running back, 5'10 sophomore. Boy, what a first half for the Lions. We'll run through all the scoring plays coming up here on our Polar Whip halftime show. We'll try to get you updated on scores from around Southern Illinois.
Couple quick updates, Dave. Marion at halftime leads Carbondale 22-0. That's their homecoming. Benton at half leads Murfreesboro 17-7.
Not surprised by that either.
Not really, nope.
This Oh, the old hook and ladder. They run it down the sideline to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, and brought down as time expires on the clock. The old hook and ladder for the Pinckneyville Panthers. That was close.
That was well set up.
Yes,
and
it
I think
was.
Riley Crane was the guy that came down and just hammered the receiver, or the back, I should say. But that's an exciting way to end the first half.
I love that play. You can run that a lot more than what teams normally do.
I'm surprised teams don't try that more.
I know it. 49-0 is our score, and we are at the half. It's our Polar Whip halftime report. It's coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
Rain or
Area score to report from around the conference. Nashville and DuPont are tied at 14 at the half. Another area score to report. Both undefeated Johnson City and Carmi are both tied at 22 at the half.
Steve McKenzie and Scott Hudson. It's our Polar Whip halftime report where the Carterville Lions lead the Pinckneyville Panthers. It's 49-0, and it was all Carterville. Scott Hudson there right from the get-go. Pinckneyville had the first possession, went 4 and out, and Carterville just went to town.
Kind of what you expected, or at least hoped for. After the turnover, Carterville's good enough that they're not going to let those turnovers, affect them. As a matter of fact, they took advantage of every Pinckneyville turnover, and that's what good teams do.
There were some big-time plays that were made in that first half. Of course, as we said, the Panthers had the ball to start the ball game, went 4 and out. Carterville on the 4th play from scrimmage, a 2-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey at the 8:46 mark. 2-point conversion was good. Lions led it 8-0. Pinckneyville went on an 11-play drive. Got it down, started at their own 32. They wound up, this is weird, 11 plays. They got it out across midfield to the Carterville 43, but then they wind up back at their own 41, give the ball back to the Lions on the change of possession. Then it was a 65-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey. The extra point was no good. Lions led it 15-0 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, with 11:36 remaining, it was a 59-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel, a touchdown run from Andrew Hellriegel. The 2-point conversion was good, 21-0 Lions. That was a big run, and nobody touched him.
Great ball fake by Hellriegel, put the ball in the stomach of Smith. Pinckneyville's defense kind of froze for just a second, thinking that Smith was going to get the ball. He pulled it out and ran straight up the middle, untouched.
Panthers get the ball back. They punt it away. On the third play from scrimmage, Nick Bishing winds up fumbling the ball. Panthers get it back, but they fumble it right back to the Lions after the fumble from Kellen Scott. Then it was a 26-yard touchdown run from Bryce Smith, 6:48 in the second quarter. Lions, after the extra point, lead it 28-0. Fumble by the Panthers again. Carterville recovers. They get the ball back. The first play from scrimmage, 7-yard touchdown pass. Andrew Hellriegel to Cade Lustenberger. What a catch from Lusty.
Nice catch by Lustenberger, because the 6'6" Lustenberger had to catch it at about his waist as he's slanting across into the end zone. Nice catch by the big guy.
Then Panthers get the ball back. They give it back to the Lions after the change of possession. Lions then strike on the first play. It was a pass from Andrew Hellriegel to running back Bryce Smith, 65 yards. The extra point was good. Lions lead it 42-0.
One of the best runs you'll see in high school, considering that he basically had to maneuver around and or outrun 4 defenders by himself, and he did just that.
Pinckneyville gets it, fumbles it away. Carterville recovers, and then the scoring concludes for the Lions in the first half. An 11-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Nolan Hartford. Extra point was good. That's where we stand right now, 49-0.
It was a great first half by the Lions. What you expected. Now they're going to have the running clock. They can get the reserves in. Update from Johnson City. The scoring just keeps on going in Johnson City. Carmine now has taken the lead over Johnson City, 28-22.
That has just become a shootout game.
It is.
That's exactly.
Whoever has the ball last probably wins.
Exactly. 49-0 is our score here as the Pride of the Lion Marching Band is on the field. We're going to go on and take another break here on our Polar Whip halftime report. We'll update scores from around Southern Illinois next here on News Radio WJPF.
To buy or sell a home in this area, you have a number of realtors to choose from. But if you want a local team that never stops working
they
for
don't
you,
have that
a
anything.
locally owned realty, so money stays to help.
Yeah, whatever, Soda, it doesn't matter. Thank you. $49-0 is our score here. The Carterville Lions firmly in control of the ball game over the Pinckneyville Panthers. Let's run through some scores from around Southern Illinois. A game in the Metro East area. Roxana leads East Alton 21-0. DuQuoin and Nashville, the last score we have at the half, is tied at 14. It's AJ over Madison. Of course, the Lions were on the road at Madison last Saturday. AJ leads Madison 6-0 at the half. Marion over Carbondale 24-0 at the half. The Benton Rangers have a 10-point lead over the Murfreesboro Red Devils. That's for the Ohio Conference title tonight in Benton. The Rangers up 17-7. Heron getting beat by 14 on the road at Harrisburg tonight, 21-7.
Harrisburg is playing for their playoff lives as well. They're 4-3. They need to win at least tonight or next week against Carterville to secure a spot in the playoffs.
As Scotty said, Carmi-White County leads by 6 over Johnston City at the half, 28-22. Sesser-Valier shutting out Flora 28-0 at the half. It's Carlisle over Westland 13-6. That score at the half. Chester has a 6.6-0 lead over Redbud. That game is at the half. Columbia and Central are tied at 21. Sparta getting shut out by Dupo 20-0. CZR down 10 to El Dorado. That score 24-14. Vienna-Goraville getting beat by Hamco tonight 39-14. Mount Vernon putting on a performance at Centralia 27-0. Rams over the Orphans. And no score yet on West Frankfort and Massac County down in Metropolis this evening. 49-0. Anything surprise you there?
Not really. I knew the Johnson City Carmi game would be close. I didn't know it'd be high scoring at half. I thought Benton would probably take care of business against Murfreesboro. Of course, still a half to play there. So everything's kind of played out the way I thought it would have to this point.
Absolutely. Hey, a couple of people I want to say hello to here tonight. Number one, this is my favorite week of regular season football for home games because it's chilly.
Yes.
And I got to tell you.
We're not talking about the weather.
No. Katie Dial fixes the food for the home games. I would love a whole thermos of that chili that I could just drink.
I wonder if she caters because I can give her my address to my house.
Yeah. Well, we want to say thank you to her, but we know that her mom watches and listens to our broadcast on our YouTube channel. And to Miss Kathy Donahoe up in Tolono. Yeah. But we want to say hello to you and thank you for your daughter. And because she makes really good chili and tacos and mustacholi. And I can't even wait until playoffs if we get a home game. Also, want to say hello. Carterville fans may remember Dustin Brown. Graduated back, I think, 2013, 2012. He has a buddy that he trains. And his buddy's name is Travis Rolando. He's from DuQuoin. And Dustin took Travis to his very first high school football game, and that was when Carterville was at DuQuoin. And he just had never been before, and he watches the live stream and listens to our broadcast. And buddy, Travis, we just want to say hello to you. Thanks for watching. And Dusty Brown doing some good work as he's training, helping people, and we're going to try and hook up with them at some point here in the next few weeks. Hopefully we'll get the chance to meet Travis Rolando.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that helps out here. I told Mrs. Dial earlier, I said, hey, you're our star of the game every game that we play here.
Yeah, that's right.
But we appreciate, obviously what Dustin Brown's doing, helping out in that situation, and everybody that listens and watches our broadcast. It means a lot to us.
Absolutely. 49-0 is our score here at Carterville, and you can bet that, number one, the rolling clock, that this half is going to go quick. But like you mentioned in the first half there, Scott, some more valuable experience for the underclassmen. We're talking about a senior class for Carterville, 16 players strong. And when we were talking to Coach Brett Dial on the field before the game, I asked him, I said, I'm having a hard time putting together the record for this senior class from their freshman year. Well, they were undefeated their freshman year, but they all started playing varsity ball their sophomore year because they had to. And, the benefits of that are paying off this year for the Lions because they just had played so many varsity football games.
There's no substitute for experience. And sometimes when you play a lot as a sophomore at the varsity level, you're going to take your lumps. It's not going to be great all the time. But they had to know that by the time they got to be seniors, they were good enough athletes that when they got to be seniors, that experience was going to pay off. And I think we're seeing exactly that with this Carterville team.
9-1. They're well on their way to the 8th win of the season. They lead it 49-0, and that's going to wrap up our Polar Whip halftime report. We're going to go on and take our final break. When we come back, we'll have second half action next on News Radio WJPF.
Hi, welcome to the UPS store.
Yeah, I'd like to ship this package.
Great, I can help you with that and every other ing.
Did you just say every other ing?
Printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs.
Shredding.
Yep.
Mailboxing.
Uh-huh.
Notarizing.
That too.
Wow, that's really some ing.
Now you're getting it.
The UPS store, every ing for small business. And of course, shipping. The UPS store franchise locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
When you go mobile with First Mid, you have the power of banking in your hand. Download the First Mid mobile banking app and manage your money no matter where you are. Keep account balances at your fingertips. Deposit a paper check with just a few taps. And pay your bills or your friends. Just remember to turn on mobile alerts in the app to receive important notifications. Don't sit still. Go mobile with First Mid Bank and Trust. Visit www.firstmid.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Hey, quick, tell me the greatest thing about Polar Whip, Energy's Finest Restaurant. You're probably going to say the low prices. You're probably going to say double cheeseburger. You're probably going to say maybe the fried pickles or the corn nuggets or the barbecues or the chili. Well, how about this? My favorite thing is the car hop. Yeah, the car hop. You pull up, you pull into Polar Whip, boom, and they just magically appear. You give them your order, and then in just a few minutes, you have your delicious meal from Polar Whip. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The concession stand is still selling all hot dogs, hamburgers, and pizza slices. They're buy one, get one free while supplies last. Again, the concession stand is selling hot dogs, hamburgers, and pizza. Buy one, get one free while supplies last. Feature to see the concession stand on the concourse. Again, buy one, get one free on hamburgers, hot dogs, and pizza while supplies last. Thank you.
Welcome back to Carterville High School. Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson with you here on this Friday night. Next Friday night, Scott Hudson, Week 9 on the road at the Harrisburg Bulldogs.
That will be an interesting game. It looks like Harrisburg's going to get their 5th win tonight against Hare, and still a half to play there. So they'll be 5-3. 5-4 will get you in the playoffs for Harrisburg because of their playoff points. But you know they would rather go 6-3 than 5-4, maybe get a little bit better playoff seed. Carterville obviously wants to win the game because it would put them at 9-0, would give them the number 1 seed in the South if be in the playoffs, but then it would be a matter of where are you seated depending on the outcome of that game.
You get into this whole bracketology thing for the playoffs.
We're talking to Coach Dahl before the game, and I think he made a very good point is when you look at the IHSA website, they basically will give you where the schools are at enrollment-wise, their records, and the playoff points. But
at the moment.
But when all is said and done next Saturday night, all that really doesn't matter because, as he mentioned, some teams who are 4A will drop to 3A. Some teams who are 3A will drop to 2A. And so there's going to be there's going to be some teams that we're familiar with that are going to make that fall from 5-4 or 4-3 or even 3-2. So we'll have to see how it all plays out next Friday night. But, it's kind of interesting to see who's going to go where and what you think who may play who.
And one of the most interesting parts of that conversation, the fact you talk about some of these schools are going to drop from 4 to 3A, it's not because of 4A and 3A schools. It's the number of schools like Central Illinois and Northward that are playing 8-man football, that they're no longer 1A and 2A teams, so there's not a – Coach said we're going to see some 4 and 5 teams get into the playoffs this year that we haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, and I didn't even think of the fact that you have several teams that are playing 8-man football and how that affects the playoff outlook, but it has, and we'll see how it plays out next Saturday night.
Well, guess what? The Carterville Lions are going to get the ball back to start the second half, and the kick goes out of bounds to the right. And so now we'll get to see some of the underclassmen for Coach Brett Dial make their way out onto the field here in the second half. Lions are up 49-0, and the ball is going to belong to Carterville.
Probably see Skelcher in at quarterback. This is valuable experience for him because next year he will be called on to be the starting quarterback. So anytime you can get any varsity experience as a junior, this is valuable for him and all those that are out there right now.
We'll try to name off as many of them as we can. And Brandon Skelcher, the 5'11 junior, works from the shotgun. Claps his hands, gives it to his running back. That's Riley Green. He takes it off the left side and pounds his way to about the 40-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 5, bringing up 2nd and 5 for Carterville.
Riley Crane is 6'2", 185. Very good size, especially for a running back.
Be a running clock here in the second half for the Lions.
Riley, only a sophomore as well.
Yeah. Carterville sends 2 receivers to the far side. Brock Chastain is out there. Has 2 receivers, left side, throws it near side. Cade Lustenberger has it. Sidesteps a defender, steps out of bounds. Little short gain of about 1.5 yards for the Lions. 3rd down now.
Yeah, not a lot of room. That's a pass the short side of the field and really just didn't have a whole lot of room to do anything, but he did pick up a few yards. It's going to be 3rd and short for the Lions.
3rd and 3 from the 42 after a gain of 2. 3 receivers out to the far side for the Lions, 1 to the near side. That's Lustenberger. Skelcher looks to the sideline. Play clock is down to nothing.
Play clock's not even on.
Yeah, they've turned them off. As Skelcher keeps it himself, 1st down for the Lions, takes it out across midfield to the 48 before he's brought down. 1st down run for the quarterback, Brandon Skelcher.
Another nice ball fake by the quarterback. This time fakes the ball to Crane and takes it up the middle.
Skelcher comes over to the near sideline, talks to his head coach. They reset the clock.
Landon Welge, Storm Snyder, a couple of the new offensive linemen in there. And if a couple of those other guys would turn around, I could see their number. Cole Sims, another offensive lineman out there.
Riley Crane's the running back. Brandon Skelcher takes a snap, but he throws it near side. Nick Bishing has it there. Just runs over the defender. The defender hangs on to make the tackle for the Panthers, and that was Talon at Benbrook.
I think if Bishing turns to the inside instead of the outside, he's probably got a little bit more running room.
2nd and 8 now for the Lions. Ball at the Panther 46. Trip receivers to the far side. Ball was on the near hash. Moving right to left on the radio dial. Riley Crane on the handoff, takes it, makes a move at the 45, the 40, and
he may have fumbled the ball.
That's what I was thinking, but looks like Carterville may have got it back, and it's a lucky break right there for the Lions. They do have it, and that's close to a 1st down. It's going to be about 0.5 yard short. So now, 3rd and 1.
Like I said, Crane's got good size for a running back. Looks like he's got good speed, and you'll be hearing his name quite a bit the next couple of years.
Well, this senior class has left this Carterville team in pretty good shape. You know, these underclassmen have been getting plenty of game experience. Oh, ball's on the turf, and did the Panthers get it? Yes, they did. Don't believe that was a clean handoff between Skelcher and Riley Crane.
No. And you know, as a coach, you don't want to see that, but sometimes you have to expect that. You know, when these players, these kids have not had the reps in a game, because you can do it all you want in practice, but it's not the same as playing in a game. And it's going to take a little bit of time, but, you know, they're good athletes, and, you know, those things are going to happen. 28-7, Harrisburg now leads Heron midway through the third quarter.
We'll update scores as we go on here. 17-13. Benton over Murphy. Panthers have it. Jace Lee, the quarterback, gives it to his fullback, and that's Schneider. And he plows his way out to midfield. Big carry. 7-yard gain for the Panthers.
I believe Owen Maurer was in on the tackle for the Lions. Some other Lions out there now that we haven't seen before. Parker Poole, defensive back. Also, Landon Welge is on defense. He was on the offensive line.
Fairfield Mules shutting out Edwards County 48-0. Panthers going to run it right up the middle. First down yardage for the Panthers, and that'll move the chains. 1st and 10 now. Let's see. Sesser leading Flora 28-0. Redbud now has the lead over Chester 7-6. 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the 46-yard line. Lee from the under center. Quick pitch on the outside on the jet sweep. That's Marshawn Fisher, and he gets out of bounds. He's going to move the chains for the Panthers. Big run for Marshawn Fisher.
Parker Poole for Carterville had to make the tackle at about the Carterville 35, 36-yard line. Trying to see some of the other Carterville players that are out there now. Want to get as many mentioned as I can.
1st and 10 from the 36. Ball from the near hash. It's the give to Schneider. Or Schneider, rather. He's going to move the chains again. 3 first down carries for the Panthers in a row. Clock at 5, just under 5.5 minutes here in the third quarter. It's a rolling clock. Carterville leads this game 49-0.
Owen Stevenson out there. We have, I believe, I thought I saw 61 out there, and we do not have him on any of the rosters I have, so we apologize to the parents of number 61.
It's a good to Schneider. Spun down at about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, brought down by Peyton Van Horn, 5'10" junior.
Parker Poole included in that.
A lot of these kids playing now for Carterville are sophomores. Like I said, good experience. I mean, this is what you want as a coach. You want to be able to get these kids some Friday night experience.
3 receivers for the Panthers on the left side, but it's the handoff up the middle. Schneider carries about 3 or 4 players with him down to the 10-yard line.
Nothing fancy now from Pinckneyville. Just going to run the ball between the tackles. They probably feel like they can move the ball on Carterville's reserves, not have to put the ball in the air. Pinckneyville's big problem that first half was turnovers.
Yeah. They had 3 fumbles, as Scott's mentioning.
Number 8, Chase Snyder on the carry for the Panthers.
Looking through here, trying to see if there's any updated score, Scott, and it just doesn't look like.
I haven't been updated on. I'm assuming it's still 28-22 Carmi and Johnson City. Of course, that game was at half, so they may be just starting the third quarter.
2nd down and 6 for the Panthers. 2nd and goal from the 6. Give to Schneider. Gets into the end zone for the touchdown. 2:55 on the clock. The 6-yard run from Schneider.
A good drive by the Panthers. Positive yards on every play. And finally punch it into the end zone for their first score of the night.
Clock continues to roll. It doesn't stop except for the change of possession. Snap. The kick is good. And now it is 49-7. Stay with us. We'll be back in 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
When you bank with Banterra, you'll benefit from a bank that offers convenience and exceptional service.
(49-7) is our score. Panthers just score on the 6-yard run from Chase Schneider for Pinckneyville. And the Lions lead it 49-7.
I'd like to see this Carterville offense led by Skelcher.
Carterville leads this game 49.
Electrician. The IBEW is made up of Southern Illinois linemen, tree trimmers, telephone workers, utility workers, city employees, factory workers, construction workers, and many more. So when you support the IBEW, you're really supporting Southern Illinois Workers Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members for all.
Dinner 72272 and find Rob's Pit Barbecue on Facebook.
The quick throw.
That's what you want on first down. You want to get in that 2nd and 3rd short yardage situation.
Officially 2nd and 5 after the gain of 5. Ball's at the 41-yard line. Ball is on the near hash. Carterville moving left to right now on your radio dial. Skelcher's going to keep it. He's wrapped up. Gets, oh, man, he kind of got bent backwards.
Was going to pitch the ball to Crane, didn't, and he lost about a yard, so that's going to bring up 3rd and about 5 or 6.
Good thing he's young and flexible.
Yes.
That looked like it hurt.
I would still be on the ground.
He picks up 1 on that carry. It's at the 40-yard line. Coming up, we'll have our Shoulders Orthodontics post-game report. The throw across the middle is, intended for Nick Bishing. Nicholas just couldn't hang on. Is a little bit behind him. It falls incomplete.
Kellen Scott was right there and thought he might have got there a little early, but not enough for the officials to make the call. So it'll be 4th down for the Lions, and let's see if they punt the ball. Looks like they're going to punt the ball. Riley Crane's going to step back and do something he hasn't done much of this year, punt.
No, he hasn't, has he? Stands at his own 30. Panthers don't send anybody deep. Now they do. They drop 1 back. Ball's low. Riley can't pick it up and just has to cover it up. He bent down to try to pick it up, didn't get a clean grip on it. And the Panthers are going to have outstanding field position now.
Yeah, the backups are having trouble with turnovers, and Crane, it was a bad snap on the turf back to Crane, and he couldn't pick it up initially. Then he just basically had to fall on it.
So Panthers will have it at the Carterville 27-yard line. Of course, Carterville is going to be on the road for Week 9 next week. Fairfield beating Edwards County 48-0. That's a fourth quarter score. Benton over Murfreesboro at the moment, 17-13. That's in the third. Panthers with the football. It's the give to Schneider. Down to inside the 10. El Dorado leads CZR 24-14. Harrisburg 28-7 over Heron. Carmi and Johnson City, that's still 28-22, Scott. Assessor 28-0 over Flora. Mahomet Seymour over Mattoon tonight, 40-0. 7-6 Redbud over Chester. Columbia and Central are tied at 21. Dupo beating Sparta 20-6. And no other updated scores from around Southern Illinois is on the carry. I believe that was Kellen Scott on the carry.
We got a late flag, a hold against Pinckneyville. That was thrown after the running back was at about the 8-yard line.
Wow. Well, that's where he was tackled. So that's going to back it up from the that's a spot foul too. Clock rolls under 8 minutes remaining in this contest. Scott and I will next Friday night make the trip to Harrisburg. We're going to see the new turf over at Harrisburg. You know, there's only been one natural grass game for the Lions this year, and that was week 2 at Heron.
Yep, and Heron's probably going to be, I'd say in the next, 2 or 3 years, might be the only school in Southern Illinois that still has natural turf. They had a chance several years ago to get turf, and they said no. They didn't want it. I mean, it's nice turf, but it's natural, and it's one of the few that's left.
Yeah. Now they may want to keep it just to remain that way. Long throw, nice tip at the last second. The receiver, Kellen Scott, had got behind the defender, and I didn't see the number on the coverage. Oh, yeah, now I did.
Brock Chastain.
Brock Chastain for the Lions, and he dove and tips the ball incomplete.
Nice play by Brock, the senior. That looked like 6 for sure, and Brock just went high in the air and knocked it away from the intended receiver.
So it's 3rd down and 18. Ball is at the Carterville 35. Six minutes remaining in the game. The pitch to the jet back for the Panthers. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage before being tripped up. Marshawn Fisher on the carry. And now it's 4th and 9.
You know, we talked earlier about one of Pinckneyville's players broke his leg last week. That was Carson Conkle, 6'6", 220. He's a basketball player. And you know that Bob Wagner cannot be happy about that, much like the same that Shane Hawkins was not happy when he heard the news about Aiden Hinton going to be done for the year. So that's just part of playing sports. You take that risk every time you put on the helmet or step on a floor or step on a field.
5 minutes remaining. Lane looks to throw, throws it deep down the right side to receivers there, makes the catch. And on the reception, Jaden Kellerman, is it number 16? From Jace Lee, Kellen Scott.
Lee throws a nice ball.
Yes, he does.
He's got a tight spiral. He didn't have a lot of time in the first half to showcase that arm because he was running for his life. But here in the second half, he's had some time, and he throws a nice ball.
Kellen Scott on the reception for 35 mark here of the fourth quarter. The extra point was good. And now it is 49-14. Back in 30 on News Radio WJPF. This Lions broadcast brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in Carterville, with punctual service, 5-star satisfaction, and the experience that comes from 40 years in business. Find out more at charliesairandheat.com. Also brought to you by the IBEW Local 702, proud supporter of Lions sports. IBEW Local 702, dedicated to providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. Your Lions sports also brought to you by Steve and Rich's Barber Styling, full-service salon on Division Street in Carterville, open Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 5, and on Saturdays from 8 until 2. The kickoff is picked up at the 22-yard line by the Lions. Stutter step at the 25 and tackled right there at the 25. And Carterville can run out the clock with 2:50 remaining in this game.
Harrisburg now leads Heron 35-7. Benton leads Murfreesboro 24-13 with only 2:17 left in the game. So Benton will be your Ohio division winners of the River Conference.
Nashville leads DuQuoin 20-14. That's in the third. El Dorado over CZR 32-14. We'll update all these scores coming up on our Childers Orthodontics post-game report. Lions a chance to close the game out with 2:10 remaining in the contest. Nick Bishing is the quarterback now for the Lions. He takes it off left tackle out to the far side of the field where he's pushed out of bounds right at the stick. Maybe we'll see how they mark it. Are they going to give him the first down?
He's close. Yeah, I think. No, he's about a yard short.
So it's second down and 2. He's 2 yards short. They mark it at the 35. 90 seconds remaining. Nicholas Bishing, the 5'8" sophomore, and third string quarterback. Steps in, claps his hands. Going to keep it himself, makes a stutter move at the 40-yard line, and is wrapped up from behind down to the 46 of Pinckneyville. Nice move.
Yeah,
He's
nice.
Quick.
Yeah, Bishing has played well in limited time. Played well last week at Madison. He's showing what he can do now. He actually, he had the fumble in the first half playing wide receiver, but he was open. He's getting himself open, so you might be hearing his name in the playoffs.
49-14. This will be the last play of the game. Bishing takes the knee. Carterville knocks off the Pinckneyville Panthers. Scott Hudson, your Carterville Lions are river-to-river conference champions for 2022.
And they don't have to share it with anybody. Outright conference champions. This was one of the goals that they set out before the season started. So now they've got some other goals, but this was a big one.
49-14, the final score. Stay with us. Our Childers Orthodontic post-game report is next on News Radio WJPF.
You're a safe professional.
Final score from Carterville. Lions 49, Panthers 14.
For your first
Okay.
40 hours,
Everybody
between
online,
36
thank
and
you
39
for
dollars
watching
per
tonight.
hour
We
overtime.
appreciate it.
Annual salary between 80 and 90.
The Lions take on Harrisburg at Harrisburg.
(49-14) the final score. The Carterville Lions are the Southern Illinois River-to-River Conference champions on the Mississippi side outright after the 49-14 win tonight. And congratulations to those Carterville Lions, conference champs for 2022.
Has a nice ring to it, the conference champs, and they deserve it. All the time that this team has put into the last 2 years especially. You know, they had a very good season last year, fell short at Freeburg, but they had a lot of kids coming back, 16 seniors. This is something they felt like they could do, and they accomplished, you know, one of the goals that they set out this year. I said before I'll say it. Well, no, I'm not going to say it now. We still have one more game left. I'll gloat next week if it happens. But Carterville played a very good game tonight in the first half. They dominated like we thought they would, and then they got their starters out at halftime. That's what Coach Dial and his staff wanted to do. Mission accomplished.
Absolutely, 49-14, the final score here tonight. Carterville led it at the half, 49-0. Pinckneyville was able to take advantage of a fumble recovery. They scored a 6-yard touchdown run from Schneider for the Panthers. Extra point was good, 49-7. And then here in the fourth quarter, Panthers score on a nice pass from Lee to Kellen Scott, 26-yard pass. That's the final score, 49-14. Good ball game.
Good ball game.
For the Lions.
Very good ball game.
Did exactly what they needed to do.
Did what they needed to do and got out of here healthy. I think that's the big thing going into a big game next week at Harrisburg. Want to update you on a score with 56 seconds left in the third quarter. The offensive onslaught continues. Johnson City is now taking a 30-28 lead over Carmi. What a game there. What a game we saw tonight. We're going to have a very, very happy Coach Dial come up and talk to us in just a minute.
I've lost sight of him. Do you see him? Is he still? Yeah, he's still out there with his guys. All right, let's update some scores here. Let's see. Fourth quarter score, Roxana over East Alton, 21-13. DuQuoin leading Nashville 21-0. That's a fourth quarter score. Fairfield over Ed County 48-0. As Scott said, JC 30-28 over Carmi White County. Cesar shutting out Flora 28-0, fourth quarter score. Let's see. Columbia and Central still tied at 21. Marion over Carbondale 40-0. Third quarter score, Benton over Murfreesboro 24-13. Harrisburg over Heron 35-7. CZR getting beat by El Dorado 32-14. Carlisle over Westland 19-13. That's a third quarter. Redbud over Chester 7-6 third quarter. Dupo over Sparta 26-6 third quarter. AJ still showing a halftime score there. They were up 6-0 over Madison. Cahokia over Altoff 34-6. That's a halftime score. Charleston over Mount Zion 9-7. Vienna getting beat by Hamco 39-14. Centralia getting beat by Mount Vernon 27-0. So there's some scores there that haven't updated. But how about DuQuoin coming back and taking the lead on Nashville?
Yeah, DuQuoin, they've got a couple of games they wish they could have back. One being their loss to Heron in a game that they felt like they should have won, and maybe their season would have ended a little bit differently. But, you know, that's the thing about it. You know, when you're in close games, you got to find a way to win games. And Carterville hasn't had a lot of close games this year. Probably the closest would be week 2 at Heron, and they found a way to win after trailing at one point 11-8 in that game. So Carterville, the 16 seniors out there right now on the field, getting their pictures taken, well-deserved. Those young men and what they've accomplished to this point.
We're going to go on and take our final break here on the postgame. Coach is still on the field He's with the seniors, and they're taking a photo, but he'll make his way up, and we'll fill for just a couple minutes until he gets there. Carterville wins it 49-14. Stay with us here. We'll have our John A. Logan College coaches interview as we continue on the Children's Orthodontic postgame report on News Radio WJPF.
John A. Logan College is proud to support area high.
No, we're waiting on you. Oh, wait. 49-14, the final score here at Carterville High School. The Lions take care of business in Week 8. They are 8-0. And, Coach, congratulations. The Carterville Lions are Mississippi Conference champions. How about that?
It's been a great week for the Lions. Last night, the volleyball team won the outright championship on their last trip through. We got one tonight. And then, cross-country, Miley Robertson was the cross-country champion on the Mississippi Division side on Thursday as well. So, this whole year, it's our last time through in this Mississippi Division, and I want to try to take as many of those things with us as we can.
A lot of people may not realize that come next year, Carterville's flipping side in the River-to-River Conference, moving to the Ohio, and like you said, these are maybe the last time we'll win on the Mississippi side.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last time that we're going to play some of these teams, and and I don't know when some of these games will we pick back up. We won't play DuQuoin next year, and we're not going to play Pinckneyville either, and I just can't imagine they're going to pull non-conference games with us in the future. So, I respect a lot of people up there. There's a lot of good people that we've got to know over the last. I've been AD for 8 years now, so I got to know a lot of their administration and some of their coaches fairly well. Really over the last decade. And there's a lot of good people there, and that's going to be the hard part about switching conferences. Some of the relationships and people that we respect, but there'll be some new relationships built in the coming years.
Coach, there's some phrases that we've all heard over the years. Chicks dig the long ball, offense sells. But I got to tell you, in my 27 years of doing this, I have not seen a defense that is more enjoyable to watch than your defense. They get after it every play. They are so much fun to watch.
Well, we get the film on Pinckneyville, and it's just a lot of dive up the middle, and they had some success with it. They, like I said, they about won last week against Nashville doing that, and they drove the ball, I think, 97 yards early against Anna, just basically running straight dives. And I'll tell you what, it's really nice when you can look over and you've got a guy that's 6'5", 320, and say, hey, you're going to get right here in this gap, and there's another guy that's about 330. This is the biggest Carterville team I can remember, just the amount of big bodies, and it's a bad matchup for Pinckneyville tonight. Trying to run fullback dive at that, that's an uphill battle for them. And then I thought offensively, we were moving at a little quicker pace tonight. We were trying to run things a little bit faster to get as many plays in that first half as we could, and try to work on a few different things. You probably saw a couple of new wrinkles, and we've been waiting to run some of those and wanted to run them in game so we could see it executed at game speed, and had some big plays from some of our guys.
Coach, we had this discussion early in the year about how with your defensive line being so quick, it allows your linebackers to really pursue to the ball. But when you put a guy in there like Charlie Howerton tonight who will clog everything up, that just allows your linebackers to even make more plays.
So awesome to see Charlie having some success. That's just a tough go. Starts as a sophomore and gets the first 5 games in, as a junior, then gets the knee injuries, out for exactly a year. I mean, he got hurt in the Anna game, and his debut this year was the Anna game, week 5. And each week we have noticed him getting a little bit stronger, a little bit more confident what he can do. And then tonight was really his breakout for this year, just getting off the ball and just clogging holes. I mean, like I said, the kid's 6'5", about 320, and he's physical. I mean, he's a hard-nosed player, and he was really a nice pickup for us tonight.
Coach, really tonight it was coming in, take care of business, come out healthy,
right,
and move on.
That was the first question in the huddle. I said, are we good? And everybody's, thumbs up. So, we move on to week 9, and then we also told them it's time to get locked in. I mean, I think that Harrisburg is going to be a very worthy opponent. They've got some size up front to match us a little bit. They've got some great team speed, and we're going to have our hands full. It's a good team, and we've got to go over there on the road and finish off this season.
Coach, congratulations, conference champions, and what a fun time it's been watching this team this year.
This is a great group, and I just have to kind of always take a minute and have some perspective and just really appreciate the opportunity to be around these guys every day. And it's not just game night. You guys see them on Friday night perform, but they're a fun group to be around on Monday afternoon too. I mean, these guys they're great. They're close. We have a great time in practice, and I respect all of them. They just all bring something to the table, and just a very special group that we're going to try to get everything we can out of.
And also, thanks for bringing up all the other conference titles, volleyball.
Sure,
Nate Emmerich, and
right.
Man, that was a heck of a game last night to win the conference, and it's just been a good year for Carterville.
Yeah,
sports.
We're off to a great start. Our soccer team is in the regional tomorrow morning, and then we pick up postseason with football here in about another couple weeks, and same with cross country, and our golf teams are done. But there's a lot going on, and I don't think we're done with the winning just yet.
49-14, the final score. The Carterville Lions knock off the Pinckneyville Panthers. I'll let you wrap it up.
Well, it's a big win for Carterville tonight. They're outright champions of the Mississippi side of the River Conference for the last time that they're going to be on the Mississippi side. That makes it even sweeter. You have to be happy for the whole team, but especially these seniors. They've put in a lot of hard work to get to this point in the season where they're still undefeated. They were winners as freshmen. They're winners as seniors. I think when you learn how to win as freshmen, by the time you get to be seniors, you know what it takes to win. And I'm so happy for these kids, for the whole team, for the coaching staff. It's such a close-knit group. And I think that is one reason why we're sitting here tonight talking about a team that's 8-0, playing their last game next week of the regular season. Not going to be an easy game. It's going to. I encourage all Carterville fans to make that trip to Saline County to cheer on the Lions, because that's not going to be an easy game. But I think Carterville, if they take care of business, could finish the regular season 9-0, get a #1 seed in the playoffs, and then let the chips fall where they may.
Scott and I will have pregame coverage starting for you next Friday night at 6:40 p.m., and we will talk to you from Saline County for Week 9 of the high school football season. For our producer-engineer back at the studio, BRP, Brian R. Powell, welcome back this week. From our broadcast partner, Scott Hudson, I'm Dave McKenzie. The Lions win it 49-14 here on senior night at Carterville High School. And we will talk to you next Friday night on News Radio WJPF. God bless everybody. Thanks, bud.
Good job, gentlemen. Dave, I'll see you in the morning.